long enough to read the kid.
What's that? No.
The port fire will be lit from the lantern and will actually be touched on the vent. The powder ignites down into the main charge. It's obviously not working. So, in the Red Marines, we live here in Gosport, the Portsmouth Division lives in Gosport at St Vincent Barracks, the vent, obviously, and the powder goes off, and then the main charge. So, without further ado, we're going to clear the gun for action. Now, I mentioned the levers I pulled out. This gun was fired a fortnight ago for Armed Forces Day in the Isle of Wight. It was fired on the beach, the gun, and the bore is clear. Number one charge was brought up from the rear of the gun, handed to Mr. Barrett. Mr. Barrett then takes it to the front of the gun, places it in, and it will now be rammed home by the corporal.
Charge home! Prime your gun!
Now they've got to prime, they've got to break into that bag of gunpowder. So they do your insert a fuse, which used to be a goose quill, hollow with black powder inside it. He then put more powder on the top of the vent, light the port fire. Now the men port fire is lit. So I think we're sponging out the gun now, whacked around the head by the corporal. Doesn't matter what rank, he has that right. Because if the gun goes off prematurely, you lose the two guys at the front of the gun, and obviously that is not very good for your fighting efficiency. Placed into the barrel. Johnson will now run that down. Takes out the rammer, steps away. Mr. Smith found the charge and he's pierced it. The fuse is going in and more black powder going in on top. Mr. Presley has readied himself in case of a lost the port fire, but doesn't look as if he had on this occasion. Port fire lit. You know the drill, ladies and gentlemen. Cover your ears, please. So the lamp has gone out. Step forward. And that's how they do. Attention, arms effective. Right, ladies and gentlemen, those who are with me on the right bottom of the ramrod, which has been in contact with the bottom of the barrel, or the top of the ramrod, I should say, sorry, which has been in contact with the bottom of the barrel. When he's happy, he will move to the right. The officer approaches. Each musket is turned over at eye height so that he can see if the firing spigot is free of debris and is quite safe to have a cap fitted. And again, we use the manual dated AD 24.
Right about field.
From there, in that position, come round, just pick up the musket, drop it down between your feet, drop your head and eyes down, place your thumb over the end of the barrel. Reason being, if it's wet with a half-inch ball on the top, you take one of those out and you bite the bullet. You hold the ball between your teeth while you pull it out down into the barrel. You then put the ball down, screw up the wadding and put that down into the top of the barrel. Ram down your cartridge. Pour powder, the wadding now at the bottom of the barrel. Take out the ramrod. Turn it over, find the slot in the furniture of the musket, place your hand on the top, wait for the word of command. Ramrod. Put the ramrod back. Your rear foot goes back so you've got a nice steady platform. You go then to your waist belt and place a cap, and place that cap on the firing spigot, keeping your head and eyes down. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the next drill movement will be for you to cover your ears.
Ready? Ah!
Present, cover your ears. We're in the period before flash was hailed. Everybody knew where they were. All around the first independent fire of war gone.
Wow. Shoulder your arm. On your right. Number 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Round of form 2. Form 2.
So they did, they're going to fire one round in 2 ranks. The drill is slightly different for either foot. Again, the loading process is exactly the same as before with slow time. The British Army, which we were obviously part of, was fired possibly in 3 ranks. 1 rank kneeling and then 2 ranks standing. The idea being that you could keep up a continuous fire on the enemy. For those that were kneeling had fired and were loading, followed by the front rank and then followed by the rear rank.
Front rank. Ready? Ah! Front rank. Present. Front rank. Fire. Front rank. Slow. Rear rank.
So when the smoke is cleared,
Ready? Rear rank. Present. Rear rank. Fire.
the rear rank is fired. Front rank meantime. And because they're firing as a group, they have to wait for the slowest in the convoy before the officer can give the next word of command.
Front rank. Shoulder your arm. Front rank to the ground. 5 paces. Unknown. Charge your basket. Ah! Ready. Present. Ah! Fire. Go. Rear rank. Shoulder your arm. Rear rank to the ground.
The rear rank now is loading and they come back up. And they should come up into their position just behind the front rank.
Charge your basket. Wait, ready. Send. Fire. Blow.
And that is how they moved up and down the field, very, very slowly.
Charge your basket. Wait, ready. Send. Fire. Blow.
And we'll just wait for the rear rank now to close up. And I think that will be the firing.
Shoulder your arms. Start, right facing. Everyone start. Charge your basket. Ready. Send. Fire. Go. Reset. Two ranks. Fire. Two ranks. Blow. Cease. Fire.
So the worksheet.
Two ranks. Shoulder your arms. I will form file. Form file. While you're right, dress. And watch your arms.
Check the muskets are fired and all cleared. They half cock the weapon and report to the sergeant or the guard commander that all is fired and all is clear.
That easy springs.
The hammer gently back on the firing level.
Now shoulder your arms. Now.
Right place.
Right, Will. Turn. To your left. Face.
Including first evolution of the day as far as forthcoming are concerned.
Send your arms. Shoulder your arms. Guard, order your arms.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the first evolution of the day as far as we're concerned.
One pace forward. Yes. Miss.
Now, period, the officer salutes, you saluting back with the opposite hand, and then just step forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to see a
Would you like to see the prettiest baby in the world? Would you like to see the happiest baby what you've ever seen? But you stay there, Mr. Punch. I'm going to get my beautiful...
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fort Brockhurst as part of installing Cumberland Guard, the resident group here, forming their drilling activities and farming our artillery piece. There's been founded, and great country from the Diamond Jubilee and the 1887 Renaissance of Queen Victoria's senior arm, and the Navy was impressed. They fought in Africa, they fought in India, the Mutiny, in the First World War, and so in the middle of the 1860s. Red uniforms are the regulars. I'll stay here and not move around. Regulars wearing red, as I say. Why do we wear red? It's nothing to do with camouflage. It's actually changed from the 1850s and goes into khaki drill. But soldiers fight in this uniform in Africa, in the Zulu Wars, in the First World War. The last time red is worn on a battlefield is in 1884 at a place called Guinness in Sudan. Using the secondary arm of the rifle. The earlier rifle volunteers are using the P53 Enfield, but the secondary arm of the British Army is the bayonet itself. Again, think of the Victorian soldiers. You can join the army if you came through the medical displays. You can join the army at 5'4" with a 33 to 34-inch chest, so a much smaller person. You're giving them £9.5 a rifle, £2.5 of extra steel when you put a bayonet on, nearly £4 of extra steel when you put a cutlass on. Cold steel. We're one of the few armies in the world that actually will close with it. Moves like that, let's take somebody off of a horse, somebody in a trench or below you. A tradition that's maintained right the way up to the Falklands, people who fought in the Falklands, but it does make a bit of noise, and we are in quite an enclosed area here, so it will reverberate a bit. Victoria's reign is how things change from the start of a reign to the end of it. When we start to talk about the firearms of the period, that was equally as phenomenal development, right the way through Wellington's period to the start of Queen Victoria's period. A flintlock musket. At the end of Queen Victoria's reign, we've worked on to 303 bolt action rifles. We've gone through 14 changes of long arm in 60 odd years, each one more technologically game changer. It's capable of going out to 700-800 yards, 3 rounds a minute. It fires a 5.77, that's pretty. In comparison, the Russians, we take on at Cumberland, are coming at us with a percussion system, movable musket capable of shooting at 50 to 60 yards, and we're shooting at 80. So it's a major game changer. And you've got 20,000 soldiers coming towards you, I'd have to do this shot. I don't think I hit that.
What if I actually put
As well.
this is going to be the best ever.
And that's when we do
How can they breathe like that?
of 1880, the wars actually killed off. This will be set of cartons. So, we talked about the M4 being out to about, I don't think it'll be far more than about 700. What we actually use there. Ammunition. Really good at those first two battles of the Zulu North, it was slightly different. Bloody great area. When it fires like that, starts going to an enemy 800 yards away. At that distance, it will start to amputate. It will amputate arm, leg, or head. If it hits quite low towards me, 800 yards away, and you'll make it on the dead, so you get it arm off. the more and more you get the sound, you've got to start thinking, oh, right, I'm going to bother coming in and finish it off.
3, 2, 1, go.
It does have its
Come
problems,
on!
because it's a large lead bullet, it does actually give quite a heavy kick.
Not right now.
Later
Not
on,
well
there's
there.
actually
It has a
leather
massive
guard,
back.
but your handguard, stuff like that. Technologically, 10, 12 years. It's a major change in technology, and it's going better than the last. Because remember, we are the world superpower, and the stage being the world of its time.
Dizzy.
I know the Zulus stop over 40 minutes. The Imperial infantry that are holding the front line stop them getting lifted in the front.
No, I'm going to do it at the same time.
I have actually a little bit of a picture of the Victorian period. It's been brought in on the blue jacket, panopled up at the Royal Navy, rebellion the 13th Surrey Rifles, quite helmet, a moment of various reactors working together both in the UK and overseas to represent various aspects of the Victorian soldier career.
Rifles! Halt! We'll advance. Left! Turn! Section! Halt!
We'll be on our officer's command.
I'm just going to say that.
Hey!
Like, can you be a bag? There's a black one, there's a gold.
Yes, I see you in front.
I just wondered if you had better instruction.
We actually knew someone who was waiting for Victorian.
March!
Get off my horse now, you look too good.
What you be cheering? Right. So now we are going to combine the two. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I will clap in